Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Hope you've had your vitamin C coffee and your water, vitamin W. Good to have you on with us this morning as you get your notifications. Here we go. And we'll say hello to a few friends here this morning. I think I can say hello here. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Okay. Just refresh my phone. Hold on. Okay. You guys are coming on with us, so let me see here. Not coming up with me. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, there's my list. Let me start from the top. Carol in West Virginia. Elaine, St. John's, Newfoundland. Grace from The Rock, Newfoundland. Janine, how are you? Or Janine. Linda, New Brunswick. Dave. And David from Ridgeway. Lorraine. Georgie. Hi, Georgie. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Joyce. Good morning. Nick from our staff. Bonnie. Bonnie's in Little Britain. Cheryl. West Virginia. Dennis. Good morning. And Beverly. Sandy. Heather from Miramichi. Mary. Nativity. Elaine. Good morning. John. Fenland Falls. John and Linda. Fenland Falls. Karen. And Joyce. And Bruno. And Gertie. And Gloria. And Ida. Oh, guys. Have I told you lately that I love you? Okay. Annette. Anne. Cecilia. Rosalinda. There you are, Rosalinda. Danny. I didn't see Brahim's name. Patricia from Florida. And let me see here. Lily, how are you? From Sarnia. And Lise and Diane and Sharon and Donna from Belt Ewart. Louise, how are you? Patricia, Deb from Harrow. Denise, Lise, and Helga. And good morning. Helga's saying hi to Mary. Donna, Judy, Francis. There's Brahim. I always tease you, Brahim, because we miss you if I don't see your name there. Carol, Catherine. I'm going to say hi to Doc McEwen. I'm just assuming she's there because I haven't seen her name. Karen, Yolande, Rosa, Nativity. And Nativity is saying, yeah, Brahim is here. Okay. Arlene, how are you? Milika, how are you? Guys, love having you on. Okay? Love having you on. Okay. Now, did you see the study on red meat? I posted it earlier. People ask me to post studies and I always forget. Okay? I'm a senior. I pull that senior card out every day. When I forget something, I just pull out my senior card and say, hey, I'm a senior. What do you expect? Okay. But it's let me phrase this, okay? The narrative on red meat. You know, guys, I have been saying this for so long, as it was in the days of Noah. I've been talking about red meat and how good it is for you. Don't ever stop eating it. Everything they've said about it negatively is not true, never was true, and it's folks, it's a religion of terrorizing people about the consumption of red meat. Here's another study okay? 5,000 adults looking at those who ate red meat versus those who didn't, okay? It should be the final nail in the coffin, but it won't be, okay? Okay. Here's what they found, okay? People that eat red meat versus those who don't, okay? Here's what they found. More B12. Hello? More B12. Well, no kidding. B12 isn't found in anything else. So, I guess more B12, more zinc. That's really important. Men, especially, well, two things. Men, think prostate, think testosterone. You need zinc. You need zinc. I don't say ever, and you guys, you know this, I don't talk so much about supplements with zinc. Not that you couldn't take it, and I actually have it in my, in my multi-nutrient. I have a zinc glycinate, okay? And, but I want you to eat your zinc. And when you eat red meat, you get zinc. When you eat red meat, you get selenium. And when you don't, you are low in zinc. You need red meat. Now look, you can eat eggs and get some zinc too. Eggs, meat, and cheese. But red meat specifically, guys, okay? Here's the study. People that ate red meat had more B12, more zinc, more choline. Okay? You eat choline. You know, I usually associate choline with eggs. But this is the study. I'm just the messenger, okay? Because if you ask me about choline, now you guys know this. I talk about red meat and the 5 C's, okay? We'll talk about that in a minute, okay? We'll talk about that in a minute. I wrote it in my book, Sun, Steak, and Steel, okay? So we'll just show you this again. If you haven't got this book, why? Tell me why you don't have it. You should have a copy of the book. I mean, Sun, Steak, and Steel. And then, you know, we talked about the importance of blood work and that. But if you look at the chapter on steak, it's the very first one, okay? We talk about the 5 C's, okay? And I'll get into that in a second because I just want to finish up what this study said. Okay, so people that ate red meat had more B12, more zinc, more choline, more selenium. Now, ladies, your prostate doesn't... I just said prostate. I said your thyroid. Oh, boy. Your thyroid, your prostate, honestly. Okay, just pulled out another senior card. Honestly. I'm losing it. Your thyroid needs selenium. Like everybody thinks thyroid and iodine. Yeah, you need iodine, but I'll tell you something. Your thyroid don't work without selenium. And you do, look, if you want to have a few Brazilian nuts to get selenium, yeah, you know what's better? A lot more bioavailable. Just have a steak. And you know, guys, when I say steak, I mean hamburger too, if it's red meat. I want you to have the saturated fat. Get a fatty cut. Try and find the ground beef with fat in it. You know how they love to get it lean because they don't know what they're talking about. Okay. More zinc, more B12, more choline, more selenium, which is really important for the prostate, men too. Okay, because so zinc and selenium, prostate. Ladies, you don't have a prostate, okay? In case you were wondering, is Dr. Martin crazy? Yeah. More vitamin D. They had higher levels of vitamin D. What? Yeah. Well, first of all, the best way to get vitamin D is not to eat it. It's to get in the sun, okay? That's for sure. Sun, steak, and steel. But you get more vitamin D, a fat-soluble vitamin D and vitamin A, both of them in the consumption of red meat. Now, you can get that in eggs too. You get it in cheese. But the best source is what they're saying is red meat, roast beef, pork to a certain extent, not quite as good, but it's good. And here, okay, now that was nutritional deficiency, okay? Nutritional deficiency, and in those who didn't eat red meat, and compared to those who did. They had much more B12, much more zinc, much more selenium, much more vitamin D, much more the invisible mask, vitamin A. Guys, one of the best things you can do, don't wear a mask that the world gives you. Wear a mask that's invisible, because you know what it does, vitamin A? If you touch you're wearing a mask, okay? You wear a mask. Ooh. Anyway, you wear a mask. You cover your nose, cover your mouth. But what if you touch your eyes? What if you touch your eyes? Huh. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now clinically, okay, we talked about nutritionally, what was better with red meat compared to those who didn't eat red meat, okay? Here's what they found, okay? Lower levels of depression, lower levels of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, okay? Lower levels of bipolar. What? More gut. Oh, now, hold on to the railings as I tell you this, okay? When they compared the consumption of red meat to those who didn't eat red meat, and they compared their microbiome, what have I been saying all along? What have I been telling you all along? Your bacteria, your friendly bacteria, loves steak. They had more biodiversity in the microbiome. Better for you, more friendly bacteria. And you know, you listen to the world out there, and you'll hear it today. You need fiber for your microbiome. The best food in the world is fiber for your microbiome. And guys, you must admit, I have been consistent about this. I always said that isn't true. Fiber is overrated. It was brought to you by the cereal companies. I watched it happen in my lifetime. I watched their narrative come out. Fiber, 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 fiber. And even today, if you take 99% of all the gurus, they still preach that the best food in the world is fiber. As if you get a prize for having the biggest stool. Oh, it feeds your microbiome. You know what they're finding? Exactly what this study said. The best prebiotic is steak. Yeah, that's what they're saying. It had the most diversity was in people. You see, the microbiome is made up of not only trillions of bacteria, it's more sources or more different strains of bacteria, the better it is. The better it is for your gut. The better it is for everything. Because microbiome is everywhere. It's on your skin, it's in your mucus, it's in every organ, and yeah, mostly in the gut, but okay. Now, they didn't say it in this study, but I want to tell you a thing that I always say. What does cancer hate? What does it love and what does it hate? It loves sugar and hates steak. Cancer hates steak because there's nothing to live on. Your immune system, obviously, when they talk about all these vitamins and minerals and nutrients found in red meat. Found in red meat. Let's get back to the mental health just for a minute. Okay? Because in the summer of 2022, the mental health network was turned upside down because of these large analytical studies that came out, and for years and years and years, they looked at mental health, bipolar, schizophrenia, Alzheimer's, and it was turned on its head because always we said this, no, the world, medicine, it's brain chemistry, SSRIs. You were depressed, you had a lack of Prozac, according to studies, because your chemistry was upside down. You know what they found in 2022? Wasn't true at all. It wasn't plaque. It wasn't protein plaque for Alzheimer's. It was energy. It was mitochondria. We brought that to you in the summer, late summer of 2022. Here's how I phrased it. We have studies that will blow your socks off. And it ought to have turned mental health upside down, because when they give you medication, and these studies confirmed it, strictly a Band-Aid. It was a Band-Aid. There was no fix involved. Depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, Alzheimer's. And we reported it here on this program big time, because I mean, it was shocking that this came out. And so they found out, when they looked at it, it was all about energy in the brain. And guys, this is something that I coined. You can use it. Swimming in an ocean of fuel that you can't use. You're in the Atlantic. You're not drinking the water. Your brain is soaked with the wrong fuel. And your mitochondria, your battery packs, and you got lots of them in the brain. They weren't, in these conditions, were not firing on all cylinders. They didn't have the right energy. And guys, think about this for a minute. I have been saying this for years about fuel. Change fuel. That's what the 21, excuse me, my word, I need to do a reset. That's what the reset, the 30-day, 21-day to form a habit. 30-day reset is all about. It changes fuel. You're going from the wood stove and you're burning, when you're eating sugar or crappy carbs, like bread and pasta and rice and cereals and you're drinking juices or whatever, guys, those are just sugar molecules getting into your bloodstream in a hurry, and your brain, which is headquarters, brain is headquarters. It's the federal government. When you pay taxes, the federal government takes their give me, right? Well, that's your brain. So when you eat, your brain says, hey, before the rest of you get any fuel from that food, I get it first. Well, it makes sense. It's headquarters. Your central nervous system and everything in the brain operates the body. Right? So it says, give me 25% of all the fuel off the top. It's like taxes. Right? You ever been on a payroll? And you go, gee, I'm making this much dollars an hour. And then you get your paycheck and they go, yeah, but the government got its, they say fair share. I don't know if it's fair or not. But all I'm saying is, guys, you see what a multitude of studies that were looked at and brought together, they came to these conclusions. Holy moly, it's not brain chemistry. It's not SSRIs. It's fuel. And there's been a lot of studies even since then that confirms that people that change fuels, their mental health gets better. Their depression is better. They're bipolar. Well, I talked about this, I don't know how many years ago. I had my radio show talking about, look, if I had a bipolar patient, I would try and convince them to change fuels. I said, look, and you got to get into habits, because once you're into a cycle of, your brain is racing at 200 miles an hour, or you're down in the dumps, you can hardly get out of bed, bipolar. You gotta equip yourself and get into habits of good eating in your good days, so that when you get into bad days, you're not going to crash. And I always said this, that the only issue I had in getting results was whether a patient implemented the diet and a few supplements that I recommended. I used to tell my patients, I can't go home with you. I can't go home with you. You got to do this. I can't do it for you. I'm going to tell you what to do, but you got to do it. And when it comes to mental health, which is out of control today. What did I read the other day? How many millions of Americans? And guys, when I say America, I mean Canada too, because we're just, 10 times smaller? But just take the stats of the US of A, and Canadians, we eat the same. We consume the same amount of sugar. Guys, it's implementation of the diet, changing fuels. And that's why red meat, guys, is such an important part of your diet. Don't let anyone tell you. Don't let anyone tell you. Don't be duped. Don't be deceived. Even though it sounds good, because like I said, you get 9 out of 10 gurus today, people with PhDs like me talking about food, and they'll tell you fiber is, to them, is better than red meat. I don't know how they came to that conclusion, other than it wasn't science, it was religion. And the ghost of Dr. Kellogg's is still alive today. Do you know that Dr. Kellogg's was a real doctor? But he was a nutcase. He was. But he got to influence all of nutrition. Imagine a guy that lived 100 years ago influences nutrition even today. The dietitians, they still study under Dr. Kellogg's, even though he's been dead for a lot of years, because they build a pyramid of food that has fruits and vegetables on the top and grains, rather than red meat. Red meat's on the bottom of their list. Oh, you can have some chicken. Well, why do you want to eat red meat? That'll give you colon cancer when you eat red meat. It's acidic, says silly people. Study. Lower depression, lower post-traumatic stress disorder. Imagine food, having a big effect on that. But lower rates of bipolar in those people eating red meat. Better microbiome. Who knew? Who knew? I was going to do another study, but I won't today. This won't be it, but I want to say it's a nail in the coffin of the anti-red meat narrative. It's a nail. Will it get there? Will they close the coffin and put it to bed? I don't know. I'm not that optimistic, because there's so much power in the food industry and the anti-red meat lobby. It's so powerful. Okay? And I know I'll get some pushback here today. That's all right. That's all right. I told you, I'm very opinionated. And the arguments I'm making, I believe with all my heart. Okay? I believe it with all my heart. And I have been a steady Eddie when it comes to this. Steady Eddie. To me, when you look at the nutritional profile, and I've always said this to you guys too, bring me any fruit, vegetable, grain, or whatever you think might be better than red meat, put it together and let's compare the nutritional profile. I didn't even get into the 5 C's. Creatine. You eat red meat, you get creatine. Okay? Do you guys hear me talking about creatine and take a supplement? I know a lot of people do. Good for you. I got no problem with that. You want to take creatine? But you get steak. You eat a steak, you get creatine. You get carnitine. People have asked me, Doc, what do you think of a supplement of L-carnitine? Yeah. Eat a steak. You get L-carnitine. Oh, how about L-carnosine? Yeah. Good for weight loss. Steak. CoQ10. What? CoQ10. Isn't that good for your mitochondria? Oh, yeah, we know about that. I love ubiquinol. I take it as a supplement, besides the fact that I eat red meat. I just want my mitochondria in the heart and brain to be flourishing, right? Choline, we just talked about that. That's another C. And again, a lot of people think eggs. Yeah. And this study is saying, yeah, but you get more choline when you're eating red meat. And the 5 C's. Right? Okay. Okay. Hopefully this puts to bed, at least in your mind. Okay? At least in your mind, this puts to bed the anti-red meat narrative. Okay? Hey, I didn't do the study. I posted it. Okay, we love you. Talk to you soon.